Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 60 Football Academy and 60 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. All right, we're rolling. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to 0 to 60. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. We're over here at the lab at 60 Football Academy. They are rolling in the gym right now. They're finishing up a great Tuesday afternoon, pushing the sled and getting down. So if you hear a little bit banging around and whatnot, remember where you are. Let's pay some bills right off the bat here. My man Bailey's going to jump on the ones and twos. Yesterday we had the day off. I did not tell you that. That is my bad. I am a dick. But we're back today. We're back Thursday. We're back Friday. And then we're moving into a great week next week. I'll be out at training camp over the next month. And Mount Vista, my kids' high school, where I'm helping coaching them. They're rolling. I'm telling you, this quarterback over there, this Austin Majeski kid, is a fucking monster of a player. I cannot wait to watch him play this year. But we got a lot to talk about. Let's pay some bills. Bet Online brings you 0 to 60. Let's roll. Let's pay some bills right off the bat before we get going there. Bet Online is our title sponsor. They have been since day one, and they do a great job. They're the number one source for all of your betting needs this season, especially with that lull between, the end of basketball and hockey and football season where it's just baseball. You can really go in and find the best odds on baseball, golf, soccer, and your top fights in the UFC and the MMA, and, of course, boxing. Every stat, every matchup, everything you need to make an educated bet and try and win yourself some coin is right there at Bet Online. They do an unbelievable job of supporting their clientele, not just trying to bank off of them. They want you to make money. Look, you can also, when you're done, gambling on sports, if you do like to, yell a little monkey, you can go play a little online 21, a little blackjack. You can go to 150 slot games, go test your luck there. Bet Online is the number one source for all of your sporting needs. And if you go use the promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, you will get a 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. That's a pretty good deal. Bet Online, the game starts here and we roll. All right, we're rolling. So, look, we have a lot to talk about. Remember to like and subscribe. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter, on my account, on 0 to 60, on Bailey's account. We are rolling. And now you can become a member. Bailey, take it away.
All right. So, everybody, the 0 to 60 podcast family, we've launched our memberships program. Become a member of the Dungeon family for $2.99 a month. Best $2.99 you ever spent. You become a member of the Dungeon family. We'll shout you out. We will give you priority when it comes to this chat because, as you know, chat is always wild. But, we'll give you priority, become a member of the Dungeon family and help us grow this, community on 0 to 60 and 0 to 60 buffs as we roll here headed into the season. And that's all I got. Let's get into some football here. And, before
that $2.99 ain't shit. And then also super chats and subs are open on Twitch and on YouTube. Nick needs new cleats. Come on. This is how we make money on the show. It's how Bailey gets paid on TikTok. Make sure you get those likes up and start sending whatever, the galaxies and roses and all that shit. I have no idea what that means, but I'll take it. Sorry to cut you off, Bailey. We've got 137 eyes already in. Let's roll.
All right, all good, man. All right, let's start it on a good note before we get into some topics here. Friend of the show, college football, he's one of the smartest human beings I've ever heard on this space, Carl Reed. And Coach Prime were out fishing recently. Take a look and take a listen here.
Put it up. Now, you got to hold him down. You got to say, me and my boy Carl Reed, we out here having a good time. I don't know about y'all, but this is what we do. That's what we got.
We out here catching these fish. I'm in the lead right now. I'm beating you right now.
You're killing the game, man. I thought we was working as a team. How did it get between me and you and I'm helping you?
Well, we got 4 people out here,
Okay.
so we got to keep score.
Okay, we are keeping score. He balling right now. He's balling right now.
Keep working.
I'm telling you, my man Carl Reed is that guy. He's been on the show. He is about as heady of a football mind as you're going to find, not only as a coach, but from a recruiting standpoint. Mm-hmm. He does a great job. It's great to see them out fishing and you know, trying to live life before football season. It's hard because I'm in camp right now with Mount Vista, my son's team, and the Dungeon family's deep in here. The 1 o'clock group today was really good. And, you know, you can tell everybody's real aware that football starts for real in about a week. You know, like training camps are opening, guys are starting to report. The guys who didn't work and didn't put in work during the summer, you're about to get fucking exposed. You are a target. You are food, as we call you in this room. Mm-hmm. So look, man, this is why I love this game so much, is because it's a grunt game, and the work you put in is what sets you apart. And then also the ability to, you know what, if you bust your ass and you've achieved what you think you needed to during the off season to get ready for the year, then you know what, you've earned the right to go relax and go fishing and go do whatever you want to do. So as long as you put work in, you've earned the right. And those two are about as, you know, put the work in as you get. So Coach Prime puts the work in. I mean, that guy does it with 8 toes. I mean, I haven't seen most other individuals, I would guess, would use that entire situation, the blood clots and the amputations and stuff, to take time off. He put time in. And Carl Reed, all that dude does is fucking work. I mean, constant. He's on every show. He knows everybody. Everyone respects him because he's straightforward and he knows what the fuck he's doing. You know, not only from a recruiting standpoint, but from a development coaching standpoint. So, and he's real. If you go back and listen to the episode, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 episodes. We had Gary Barnett on, was our last show before we took a break. Mm-hmm. And then Carl was maybe an episode before that. We haven't had an interview since, but we will as we get into the NFL season and college football season. We'll have him back on. But yeah, it's great to see those two killing it.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Coach Reed, man. It's one of the smartest human beings I've ever heard speak, man. And, you know, he's earned everything that he's gotten. So shout out to him. Shout out to Coach Prime. You know, we started the show out on a good note here. Now let's shift to, you know, this Jay Norvell situation seems to have taken over social media over the weekend. You know, I wanted to kind of sort of circle back and kind of discuss it a little bit, you know, headed into the week here. Just, Matt, what are your thoughts, you know, kind of the reaction of social media with this whole situation with Norvell kind of poking at Colorado and Coach Prime?
Look, social media is just stoking this. Good. Stoke it. I want this game to be an absolute dogfight. I want it to be a war. We do not like each other. There is no love loss. The respect in Lincoln is not shared in Fort Collins, and they don't respect us in Boulder. The coaches don't like each other. The players don't like each other. I mean, Morgan Pierce and Eric Pierce both played at CSU back in the day. They played on the offensive line, and I trained Tate Pierce and his Morgan's son. He's going into 8th grade. He's going to be a good player. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, even when Morgan and Eric walk in, yeah, it's respect because we all played against each other. And, you know, Morgan played for a while in the NFL. Eric played for like 13 years and was a really good player. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we all played against each other in battles, and there's mutual respect there, but there's also animosity, and you can tell that there's still bad blood because it's just so personal inside the Buck State. So maybe Jay Norvell doesn't understand that not only has he taken a very personal game for the people of Colorado, but now he's escalated to making it personal with Coach Prime and his family, and Jay Norvell's son's talking shit, and his wife won't shut the fuck up. Everybody in the Norvell family is getting involved. So let's just make this family fair. And again, CU people will canvas because we know the Fort Collins people aren't going to show up.
Right.
And then, we'll come to Fort Collins and beat that ass. So I want him to keep talking. I want one of the players to start talking now. To start running your mouth or bob-eyeing the way that we like to say. So, look, the more gas you can throw on this fire, the better. Keep in mind, though, CSU's dirty. They were dirty last year. the hit on Travis Hunter was one of the dirtiest plays I've ever seen in a college football game ever. And I'm a nasty, dirty motherfucker. Like I'll grab some nuts. I'll horse collar you. I don't give a fuck if it like. I'm pretty nasty, but that was over the top dirty. Okay. Now, if you don't think that they remember that in Boulder and all the shots Shedeur took, keep in mind CSU took their best shot last year at CU and lost.
Missed.
So now, as we say, it's wartime on that ass up in Fort Collins, and everybody in Boulder remembers. We remember. I was in the locker room afterwards, and it wasn't like a celebration like the week before after beating Nebraska. It was somber, and is Travis okay? And let's go to the hospital. And like Travis Hunter spent the night in the hospital after that. So all I'm saying is I'm getting goosebumps talking about this shit because I know what the game is. Jay Norvell, keep talking. Keep not thinking about Coach Prime. It's okay. You guys hate us because you ain't us, and that's pretty fucking. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it than that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know any other way. So, again, I don't know any other coach that has alienated himself against just a figurehead in football like Deion Sanders. Like, he's not just the coach at Colorado. He's a figurehead. Like you would argue that if you did a Mount Rushmore of just football players, that Coach Prime's on it.
Hell yeah.
Like, if he's not on it, then what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know who the other three guys are, but to say Coach Prime shouldn't be on it is blasphemy.
Football, I think of athletes of all time. You're really arguing Deion.
You could even say athlete. Look, I've said this many times. Bo Jackson is incredible. He's one of the best athletes to ever walk the earth. But Deion Sanders is by far the best baseball and football combo player ever, and it's not even close.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you, man. We're gonna really. I think they took their best shot at Colorado last year, as you mentioned, and they missed this year. I mean, I think it's gonna be more of the same. I think Deion and Colorado are gonna really have success. We'll find out. Let's move on here to another polarizing person in media. Paul Finebaum here, as Finebaum, as Smitty likes to say.
Finebaum?
Yeah, that's what Smitty calls him, Finebaum.
Finebaum.
Yeah, Finebaum.
Finebaum.
He seems to have been taking shots at everybody. Everything on Twitter I see, Paul Finebaum taking shots at Ryan Day, taking shots at Lincoln Riley, taking shots at Deion, and now he has said that Lincoln Riley should be fired at USC after this season, and that Coach Prime should be his replacement. Take a listen to this video. You can kind of react.
Stephen A., I get where you're coming from, but to me it's about trajectory. And I think he's lost the momentum. He had that talent. Stephen A., you live there a lot of the year. You have to win in LA, otherwise you lose badly. And I think he's losing badly. And instead of harping on Lincoln Riley, I've decided to come up with a solution. I thought about this the other day. Okay, maybe he does well, maybe he doesn't. But the answer is really moving forward. And I believe the answer after this season is Deion Sanders. He's going to be tired of Colorado because, quite frankly, it's not prime time. He's done well as he can with his son and Travis Hunter and all the.
Okay,
Matt,
so
your thoughts.
I want you to do me a favor, B. I want you to look up Paul Finebaum's Wikipedia real quick.
All right, let's see here.
I just want to see, before I stick my foot in my mouth, I want to make sure that I'm not talking shit like he wasn't an All-American wide receiver at like D3 Whitewater or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, did he ever play?
Nothing I see here but playing.
Nothing. So what he was a journalist that started doing radio, and now he's got a big opinion of himself?
Yeah. That's
okay.
What it looks like.
Look, I'm not saying that if you didn't play, your opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. There are tons of guys whose opinions I actually value who didn't play. But if you've never played or coached or recruited or sat in the room or been one of the three, either the player, the coach, the recruit, whatever, it's really, really, really hard for me to take you seriously when you talk shit about everyone. Everyone sucks. No one can coach. All the players are bums. Lincoln Riley all of a sudden can't coach because he's at SC. SC's not the problem. LA's the problem. LA's a fucking cesspool, man. Nobody wants to go to that shithole anymore and play. Doesn't have the same allure as it used to. And now SC, have fun in the Big Ten. Have fun with that shit. You guys are about to get shit stomped. Shit fucking stomped. They are going to put it on you. Oregon and Washington are so much better suited for the Big Ten than SC and UCLA. That is a straight money grab, and they did it. And they're going to sacrifice their programs and their program's future because they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to this horse shit. I don't see a world, and like the chat's blowing up, the people on social media, he's definitely going to LA. Why? Because Paul Finebaum said he is? I mean, come on, man. Do you really think that Paul Finebaum actually talks to Lincoln Riley or Coach Prime? No. He was just criticizing Coach Prime a week ago, saying that he can't coach and that he's not primetime and he's not really that good of a coach, but now he should go to USC because he is primetime and they'll make it primetime. Shut the fuck up, Paul. Like, take your bald, skinny ass and go just watch football and shut your fucking mouth. No one takes you seriously anymore, bro. All you do is stoke fires in the SEC network on your radio show. You pit people against each other, and then you sit there and just fucking count the chips and laugh. And people play the game. He's like, I compared him to Mel Kiper, and I'll do it again. No one takes Mel Kiper fucking seriously either. Mm-hmm. Or Todd McShay. Nope. I'll take Todd McShay a little bit more seriously because at least he played. But Kiper and Finebaum and fucking these dudes, nah, dog. I'm sorry, but you need to have a little bit more restraint when you're talking about people that have actually done it because you sound like a goddamn moron. So where are your facts with this? This is his opinion that Coach Prime should take Paul Finebaum's fucking like advice and go to LA. Why?
It doesn't.
If you think there's pressure on him at CU to win, and yes, again, he improved by 3 wins and lost 6 games by 1 score last year. I've been harder on that program and Coach Prime than anybody, but I also know what the fuck I'm talking about and have a lot of love for the program. This is just vitriol and hate from Finebaum again. And people know, including myself, that if you say the right thing, that the fucking numbers go through the roof because all you have to do is bring up Coach Prime with anything. I guarantee you, how much you want to bet? Mark it right now. If Norvell struggles at FSU, Prime will be the replacement. If fucking Napier struggles at Florida, Prime will be the replacement. If Chris Paul gets fired or struggles at the U, Prime will be the replacement. I mean, what is he just going to be the fucking replacement everywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost lazy at this point to just keep throwing his name in every situation. It's almost lazy journalism. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, Paul. If you think and you want to be respected more than this, maybe you should give us something more to respect.
Right. It seems like an attention grab from Paul.
And it worked too, because now we're talking about his fucking bald ass again.
Yeah, and I think let me ask you something. There seems to be a bigger, kind of thing. Deion Sanders after this season, will he be with Colorado? I want your actual take. You've had the offseason kind of decide.
Yes, my answer is yes.
Will Deion Sanders be here after this season?
Yes. I think Deion's going to stay in Boulder. I think that Juju Lewis, the outstanding fucking quarterback recruit, is going to commit to CU and walk in and start. I like the kid that played last year for Utah, Ryan Stout, something like that. Swami, Samsonite. I was way off. But I liked what he did last year against Utah, but I don't know if he'll be the starter going forward. But I do think that Juju will commit to CU. That will keep Seton around. That will keep the offensive linemen around. That'll keep the other receivers around. And you know what? I know Shedeur and Travis Hunter are sitting there going, hey, we're going to go top in the draft and get out of here. But in the NIL world, who's to say they don't come back and get paid again and run it back?
Yeah.
So, look, man, especially if the top of the draft doesn't fall the way that Coach Prime wants and the way that Shedeur wants, because they are in position and will not go to certain places. And he's smart. Archie Manning and Eli Manning did it. Peyton did it. Remember, Peyton was supposed to come out as a junior, and I can't remember who had the first pick, but they were like, fuck this, we're not going there. So he went back to Tennessee and fell to the Colts at number 1. So sometimes, I know it's crazy, but with NIL now and endorsement money and all this other shit, who's to say that Hunter and Shedeur don't finish on the Heisman like 3 and 4, 2 and 3, and go, man, we just had a great team. Imagine what we could do with another year of development in Boulder. with Coach Prime and with other receivers, and then Juju can come in and learn behind Shedeur for a year. I think it sets up for a more compelling storyline that way than they both leave, he leaves, and everybody just blows it up and CU gets used. I don't think that happens.
So you think it's a realistic possibility if, like, you know, despite Travis and Shedeur's individual success, that if the team doesn't succeed, they'll stay for another year for that?
No. I think the team's going to succeed, and they still could stay for another year. Shedeur more than Travis, because I don't really think it matters where Travis Hunter goes.
Yeah.
Like, especially if he's drafted as a DB, he's just the best DB on the board. You take him, he plays for you for 12 years and goes to the Hall of Fame. Shedeur, though, so much of your quarterback and his success, is the ability to fit in the right spot. And they're both juniors. So Shedeur's not out of eligibility. That's a lie. He's a junior. Shedeur's a junior and Travis is a junior. They're both juniors. Look that up, because I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I'm not sure about.
Pretty sure. I think Shedeur's a junior. And I almost guarantee you he's got a COVID year left. Doesn't he have? Yes, right there. Doesn't he have graduate eligibility? Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has another year.
He could come back for another year. So, he may be a senior on paper, but he will have another year of graduate eligibility. That is the way it works.
He's probably
go back to
2021. Yeah, he is. Yeah, come on.
He has plenty of time.
Yeah.
So he could absolutely stay. So, look, I understand their dream is to go to the NFL. Every player's is. But now the ability to get paid, shit, he might make more his senior year at CU and be in a better situation going into the NFL than going out this next year and being in a shitty, like, for example, let's say I sent you that form. Let's say the Broncos are the number one pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Does he leave? Please fucking leave. Yes. Let's say the Giants are the number one pick in the draft. After watching the offseason with them, you want them going to New York?
Oh, I don't think Deion lets that happen.
And there you go. So Coach Prime has already outlined there's several teams that he doesn't want him to go to. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't really want him to go play in cold weather city and all that shit. I know Denver's cold weather, but it's 95 degrees outside today. Mm-hmm. So look, man, you can take what I'm saying and be like, I'm crazy, but again, it's happened in the past with a lot of quarterbacks that have looked at things and gone, you know what? I'm going to go back and see what happens rather than now just jumping at it to jump. You don't have to go get paid now right when it happens. You can actually set yourself up for success.
Right. No doubt. The Broncos, I don't think you really think if the Broncos were at 1, he would declare. But if, say, Atlanta was at 1, do you think he'd declare if Atlanta was at 1? I think that's probably one of the teams Deion's highlighted.
But Atlanta just picked Phoenix. But at the same time, with the salary cap the way it is and the ability to just draft a quarterback, and if you don't like him, you can just draft another one. I mean, they aren't making as much. There are no more bonus babies. It's like when I was playing with the Dolphins and they drafted Jake Long, number 1 from Michigan. Mm-hmm. Jake Long got like $75 million to sign. And he was a great player for him until he got hurt. But that kind of shit, like, remember Sam Bradford when he signed with the Rams? Mm-hmm. It, like, crippled their salary cap. And if he doesn't work out, which he didn't, it puts him in a fucking terrible position.
That's been back for a long time. Yeah. All right. Well, shoot, let's move on here. Colorado is the most bet team right now to make the college football playoff, believe it or not. And I wanted to kind of ask you, is this realistic? Colorado in the 12-team college football playoff? I think that kind of opens up a lot of opportunity for teams to be in contention for, win it all. What do you think it's realistic to, with this Colorado football schedule, that they could make it to the college football playoff?
Now, we went through this, and I said that they would lose to Texas Tech and Utah, right?
9-2.
Texas Tech and Utah are their losses. So, and then they could end up playing Utah again in the title game. Yeah, I still believe that. I think they start 7-0, 8-0. I think they go to Lubbock and lose. I think they lose to Utah at home. They beat Kansas, which I said it was in Lawrence. The Kansas game is in Kansas City because Kansas' uniform or their stadium is being revamped this year. They're not playing home games there, and they're good. Mm-hmm. But the Kansas City atmosphere, that's going to be a travel destination for CU fans to go to Kansas City. And then the Oklahoma State game, that's going to be the one. If they can get to that point in the season and they're 9-9, they'd be 9-2 at that point.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Right, 8-2, whatever. At that point, the Oklahoma State game, I think they're going to be really, 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 really good. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a battle for a seat in the Big 12 title game. So if you don't go to the Big 12 title game, you can't get into the playoff. They could take 2 Big 12 teams. If one of them's undefeated and one of them has 2 losses and the 2-loss team wins and the undefeated team is 12-1, both of them will probably get in. But at the same time, bro, it's look, they've got one game at a time. They need to take care of North Dakota State first. The Nebraska game is going to be an absolute dogfight. Nebraska does not want to lose 4 in a row to CU. I mean, look, bro, and we don't play again for a long time, so let's just be real. You don't want to go down 4-0 and then just have us talking shit until we play again. The Colorado State game, that we know that's wartime in Fort Collins, and then you get a chance to go back into the Big 12 after they left where did they leave in 2011 or 2012 for the Pac-12, and that was not a good idea. So now you got to go back into the conference that, like, I'm not going to sit here and talk shit like we ran the conference. Oklahoma and Texas ran it, but we ran our division. Yeah. I won a Big 12 title there in 2001. I played in 3 of them. They played in 4 and 5 years. They only won 1 of them, but they played in 4 and 5 years. And if you go back and look at the number of teams that have played in the Big 12 title, CU has the most times played in the Big 12 title game, and they haven't been in the conference in 20 fucking years. Mm. So this is an opportunity now to go back in. Nebraska's gone, Missouri's gone, Oklahoma's gone, Texas is gone. I'm looking at it like you figure out a way to compete with Utah consistently, and Oklahoma State and Kansas State, you earmark those as your rivals and take care of everybody else, dog. We got an opportunity to go run this fucking conference.
Yeah, no doubt. And do you think that week 2 game? I know you kind of talked about it on JB's show a little bit. Do you think that week 2 game is going to give Colorado any trouble at all? Or you see them running the table 7-0?
Look, the Nebraska game is going to be the last possession. Whoever has the ball last probably going to win. Both defenses are going to be strained. They got a lot better at quarterback. The Raiola kid can really play. Oh, yeah. They didn't have a lot of people leaving the transfer portal. And Matt Rule, if you look at what he's done notoriously, he flips programs pretty quick. And Nebraska is primed to flip. Yeah. So I think that that is going to be one of those games where you look back at the end of the year and go, Nebraska might be a playoff spot. CU might be a playoff spot. Who won week 2? So don't tell me that all these games don't mean anything. I'm telling you. Look, I was the first senior in CU history to beat them 3 times. Okay? Beating them 4 times in a row, it sounds good. Now it needs to go be done. I was at the game last time they won in Lincoln when they started this series off again in 2018. The touchdown to Laviska Shenault in the right corner to win it. I was at the game when they threw the flea flicker and they came back to beat them in overtime in Boulder where they carpeted the stadium and they all left unhappy. We took 2 years off and then they waxed the fuck out of them last year. I mean, they beat the dog shit out of them last year. And I just think that this year is, if Nebraska can't figure out a way to beat them this year, then the tide is 100% turned in this rivalry. And now all of a sudden you got to stop looking at the overall record and just start looking at the record like recently. So, hopefully they can figure out a way to keep playing each other.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Let's focus in on some Colorado players. Tyler Brown, offensive lineman, was asked about, Shedeur Sanders giving up 52 sacks last year and him kind of not being able to be a part of that. Take a listen.
God needed me to wait for a year, and I feel like I just wasn't meant to be a part of that offensive line, which I hate that I couldn't be there to help those guys, but I just wasn't meant to do it.
I'm glad you come to grips with that.
And I came to terms that really when after UCLA game, I said, these guys now we're not meant to just no. Because you letting my quarterback get hit 24 times, dude.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. What'd you
Look,
say?
I'm talking to TikTok.
Dude, like it made me so sad too when Shedeur was like, man, I would just game prep and know that I'm just gonna get the crap knocked out of me because these dudes aren't really even trying. You know, and that's what really hurt me.
Time out.
I was just like, I don't.
Cut it. They're not trying. So Tank and Savion and Bailey and Vanwell, they weren't trying. They weren't in the right system. Mm-hmm. The offensive line coach, Bill O'Boyle, didn't change anything. He didn't force the change. He didn't go like to say they weren't trying. That's wrong. But I do think that he's right in saying that he wasn't meant to be there last year because he's meant to be on this offensive line. Right. And look, sometimes I missed an entire season in 2002 with a broken leg on a really good team that went to the Big 12 title, and it hurt like a son of a bitch. But it gave me an extra year in my senior year to really establish myself. So I think this is an opportunity for Brown to really establish himself as a player and as a leader. I love that kid. I don't like that comment, but I do love that kid. To say that they didn't care, that's horseshit. But he did get the shit kicked out of him. You can say they weren't any good, but to challenge a man's care, I mean, they were out there fucking playing and trying to make it work. It just didn't.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, for him to not be out there and see that, and I think that ultimately people my age, their perspective when they're looking at coaching is a little bit different. I don't think they kind of see that. They kind of look at what is the kid doing, and that's kind of how they see it. I don't think they should kind of throw – because that was ultimately his teammate. You know, I don't think you throw them under the bus in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I think you kind of acknowledge the situation for what it is.
It's a teachable moment, too, to train media and be like, look, don't throw shade at your ex-teammates, regardless of how you feel. Mm-hmm. Just move on, because now the conversation is about him throwing shade, not him taking a year off. Yeah, and he changed the narrative, not me. So yeah, I'm just saying, I to say that everybody didn't care, that is bold. Mm-hmm. To say they weren't any good, that is correct. They were dog shit.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Man, before we finish this topic, here's Brown squatting over 600 pounds. I was impressed. I respect the depth of the squat, and this is very impressive.
Look at him. He's shitting in the woods right there. Oh, he just dropped a load. That's fucking impressive. That's a 600-pound depth squat, dude. That is fucking – look,
very, very, very
he's going to be a huge part of this line and a great player for him. So, and he's heady, too. He's a smart fucking kid. So I really think it's going to be a good fit.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt. Here, give me 1 second.
All right, 5 minutes. We got to wrap this bitch.
Okay. Colorado's director of leadership and engagement, George Hageman. You know, he was kind of asked about Phil Loadholtz, you know, him kind of paving the way for offensive tackles getting paid in the NFL. Phil being right tackle. Sorry, I'm grabbing the video here. It's not in. But yeah, kind of describe that, you know, Phil's impact, you know, of getting paid at the right tackle position in the NFL and kind of how he can relate with these kids, him kind of, you know, coming from Colorado, being a Colorado product coming up to get paid in the NFL.
Well, look, he's from down in Fort Carson. He did a great job down there, went to Oklahoma and played right tackle for Minnesota and got paid. Mm-hmm. And usually the right tackle is a draftable position. And then if you can't play left, you kind of move to guard or play right tackle for a while, and then, you know, jump around to different teams and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But he did get paid at right tackle, and it's kind of set the tone with the NFL that they're paying both tackles now. Hey, if you don't have 2 tackles in the NFL, you're screwed. Back in the day, it was left tackle and 4 other guys. And if you had 2 tackles, then God bless you. But, you know, usually it was protect the quarterback's backside with your left tackle, the best player on the field, on the offensive line, and then see what else you got. A lot of times the guards will be playing tackle and shit. So it's good to see Coach Loadholt being recognized there by another guy who played in the NFL and Coach Haig. But look, Coach Loadholt's going to be successful because of his work ethic. He's going to be successful because of his knowledge. He's going to be successful because of his hunger. You know, this is his first offensive line coaching job, and your first job, bro, especially in your home state, it means something. So I'm super excited for Coach Loadholt, man. I think he's a great fit. I think he's a great motivator. I think he's a great recruiter. And I think it's important if you want to recruit the elite black athlete to have a guy in the room that looks like them and has done the job that they're trying to do. If you're trying to recruit a 6'8", 350-pound tackle, and he walks in and his coach is a 6'9", 350-pound tackle, that's pretty fucking easy. That's like ding, ding, ding. Where do we sign? So, you know, it's almost like, you know, Coach Prime looked at it and said, okay, instead of going old and established with Coach O'Boyle, I'm going to go young and hungry. And he went young and hungry, and that shit worked. So I think it's going to be a home run hire. And don't be surprised next year if they have to overpay Coach Loadholt or just pay him what he's worth. Let me say that again. Pay him what he's worth in order to keep him around, because he's going to get plucked right and left. People are going to be trying to steal a good offensive line coach.
Yeah, no doubt. I think next season.
Everybody hit the like button, by the way. And subs and super chats are open. We appreciate everybody that's donated so far. We got 494 eyes in the room watching the show. Make sure everybody hits like. If you're just watching, don't be a hater. Don't be a fucking hater, dog.
Yeah. Support the show. Hit the like button. Become a member of the Dungeon family. Support the show. Before we finish this topic, I want to give you Hageman's comments, full comments here. Take a listen.
One thing I always pride myself on, I'm not a Hall of Famer. I'll never have a gold jacket. But here's the one thing that I do know that I did while I was in the league. The Hall of Famers that I played with, the Hall of Fame coaches that I was coached by, I did a very good job of just listening to them and applying it to my everyday life, to the point where, you know, I feel like in another life, you know, I could do a lot of different things, but, you know, but being a Hall of Fame mentor, a Hall of Fame leadership development director is my goal. So that's the one thing I try to do with all our guys. Doing what I'm doing right now isn't a job. It's just a life skill that I've been able to develop over 51 years on this earth. Phil was the first offensive lineman who made the most money in the NFL as a right tackle. Right? He set the standard for what right offensive tackles got paid in the NFL. I don't know another O-line coach who can relate to today's college player and be able to use his entire transition story from high school to JUCO, to college, to the NFL, and have the type of career that Phil can. I don't know many other college football coaches that can do that.
There you
That's
have
right.
it.
I mean, he talks about it, his place and the mentorship, and, you know, the same thing. I am not a Hall of Famer. I was a very average NFL player, but the knowledge and everything that I went through and changed positions and everything that I know and all the relationships is why I'm good at my job now. Same thing Coach is saying, and he's dead on about Coach Loadholt. I mean, we just talked about that. So, you know, I think Coach Loadholt has put himself in a very, very advantageous position, to say the least.
No doubt. No doubt, man. It's good Tuesday here. 0 to 60 bucks. Matt, closing thoughts?
Yeah, hey, we appreciate all the eyes. 516 when we're moving here. Make sure you go, you know, get everything in there, the super chats and the subs. We appreciate you. Make sure you go follow Bailey on all of the different social media platforms. He does a great job. And we're going to have some 6-0 swag here, this shirt and a bunch of other shit up here soon, so everybody can buy and pitch in on that. And then remember, you can be a member now of the Dungeon family for as little as $2.99. Bailey, tell them about that one more time before we get off.
You know, 6-0 family, become a member, you know, of the Dungeon family for $2.99, the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Become a member, you know, gives you respect in this chat. You know, we're trying to build a community here, 0 to 60 as the season gets closer here. We are almost there. We are almost to the season. So member up, $2.99, Dungeon family. Thank you.
All right, boys, we're off tomorrow. Boys and girls, everybody out there, we're off tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday and Friday. You have any topics or any guests or anybody you want to talk to or talk about, please let us know. We'll do our best to facilitate. Remember to go like on YouTube, like on Twitch, and make sure you subscribe. Become a member. We appreciate you. Have yourself a great night, Bailey. Peace.
Peace.